Hello, 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 hello. It is Thursday, which means it's another new episode of the TYCAST, the video game past, the video game podcast, rather. Um, we have a fun night ahead of us with awesome guests. Let me introduce them right now. First, starting out in the top is Russ at Cryosneasel. How's it going, man?
Hello, everyone. Good. How about you?
Good. Luke at Luke
Good.
Leeson.
How's it going? Good to be here again.
Awesome, man. And then we have Max at Monado Max.
Great to be here. Thanks for the invite.
For sure. Nettie at Nettie Dorco. How you doing?
Hello, hello, hello. I'm good. Hopefully everyone's great too.
Yeah, and then we have a newcomer, Nick, official no friendo. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. I'm doing good. Another newcomer, we have Chris at Toaster Dog. How's it going?
Hello, glad to be here. I'm very good, thank you.
Glad to have you, man. All right, we're gonna jump right into what we're playing. Russ, what have you been up to this week?
Mostly Pokemon Snap. I played a little bit of Monster Hunter. I tried that new update. And then I played a little bit of Resident Evil, but most of my time was Pokemon Snap. I've been really liking it. I like it more than I thought I was going to. I think you would really like it if you played the original ones. Like, I played the original ones to death. So this one feels just like a new version of it that just is full of content. It feels like there's like endless things to do in it so far. I think I'm like 8 hours in, something like that.
That's awesome. Luke, what have you been playing, man?
I've been playing Age of Empires 2 again.
Yeah?
Same thing. haven't been playing a whole lot of other stuff. I've been really busy lately, so it's just fun to jump in that after work and
For sure.
you know.
Are there any other real-time strategies that you have gone into besides Age of Empires?
No, not really.
just that one.
Probably the only one I've played like in the last like 4 years.
Oh yeah,
It's like the only one I play.
for sure. Max, what have you been up to?
So last week, I was a gamer. I played like 6 games. Now I'm back to traditional Monado Max, which is like 1 to 2 games a week. I only played 1 game. That's really all I played. I played a lot of it this week, though. That was new Pokemon Snap. I actually completed the game Tuesday night. Or I didn't like 100%, but I finished the whole story mode they had in the game. I started... When I played the game for the first time, for like the first 3 hours, I wasn't actually enjoying the game. It's going to be weird what I'm going to say, but I felt like the tutorials and the amount of dialogue that's in the beginning of the game just didn't catch my interest. And doing those early levels, I wasn't interested. I don't know what was up with it. But then once I got past all the tutorials, all the dialogue, like actually started getting into some cooler levels, I started really liking this game. And yeah, that's all I played.
That's awesome. Before I move forward, I'm gonna switch some audio things real quick, because we're getting a little audio delay. So give me 2 seconds while I mute this output, and then I'm gonna unmute all you guys on Discord. See if I can do it. How do I? I'm gonna have to do it manually. So give me just a second, because this was an experiment I did this time, and I don't think I like it so far. So, all right, we should be good now. Nettie, can you hear me, and can I hear you?
Yes.
Perfect.
Well, I could hear you. Could
Okay.
hear me.
Yes. This sounds much better this way, for the live stream. So sorry for that little interruption. Nettie, what have you been playing?
I have been all over the place this week. Well, first of all, everyone's been on Pokemon Snap. I've been on Pokemon Snap. I played it live. I look ridiculous playing it live. Like, I didn't open it. I bought it like on Friday, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna play it on stream. I played it on stream. I made myself dizzy because I was like super excited seeing all the different Pokemon left and right. So it really met my expectations. But other than that, I've been playing Scavengers, which is, I think it's free on Epic Games right now.
Oh, okay.
It was early access, and then I did Hand Simulator Survival. Don't ask me what it's about.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what is that?
It's like $1.99 on Steam, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. But it's pretty fun. You get to play with like 8 people, and I've also been playing Neo with my husband. And I don't really play a lot of Dark Souls type of games, but when I did play that out, I died like nearly 56 times the first 10 minutes of the game. But it's a good game. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. But those are the games that I've been working on this week.
That's awesome. Nick, what have you been playing?
I'm still playing Monster Hunter Rise. That game is really awesome.
Nice.
Really enjoyed that one. A little bit of Miitopia with the kids, you know.
Sure.
The Mii creation is really just a lot more robust this time. So they've just been having a blast. It's really funny watching them create all these wild characters. And then a little bit of Pokemon Snap, but for a video for YouTube, because I have a different opinion about it than a lot of people do. So, but yeah, it's been
nice.
It's the butts, huh?
What's that?
It's the butts.
It's an interesting game because I played the original. I remember when it came out, so you know it just felt a lot like the original. So anyway, yeah,
nice.
But I mean, good for a lot of people, but for me, not so much. But anyway,
yeah. Chris, Toaster Dog, what have you been up to?
I've been trying to break a almost 2,000-hour Rocket League addiction by playing Monster Hunter Rise a lot. So, and it seems to be working. I think I only played Rocket League once or twice this week. After playing it for 2.5 years every night almost.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Monster Hunter Rise has been really taking over my time. I've been watching my daughter play Pokemon Snap, and I think I agree with Max about there being a lot of dialogue in the beginning, because my daughter, she's almost 4 and she doesn't have a lot of interest in learning about story mode in Pokemon Snap. So
yeah, for sure. What level are you guys at in Monster Hunter?
I'm 59, I think, or 49.
No, on Monster Hunter.
Yeah, HR 59.
59. I thought didn't it only go to wait. They after the update. I haven't played since the update. I was like, wait, I thought it was at 7. I was like, holy cow. Okay, yeah, it's been a while since I played, so. Russ, what are you?
I'm still level 37, but
37.
Yeah, I'm still 8.
Yeah. So Russ, you haven't been playing lately.
No. Pokemon Snap kind of just took that away from me.
Yeah, for sure. So I played some Mario Party. Max, we played Mario Party. I think that was after last week's episode. Yeah, I played on your stream.
Mario Party.
I haven't played it since though. And then I usually do a weekly session of Rainbow Six Siege. I'm not very good at it, but I usually play that once every week or two. And then I fell back into some Rocket League and Fall Guys, and then I even picked up Miles Morales again because I'm only about halfway through that game, and I've been meaning to finish it. But I did the Spider-Man remaster first when I got Miles Morales, because everyone's like, play this first or else you're never gonna go back to it because you just of all the features that they added for Miles Morales. So then I kind of got burnt out halfway through Miles Morales. So now I want to actually finish that game because I'm notorious for not finishing single player games. But but that's what I've been up to. We blasted through that. Does anyone do you guys want to do a quick Pokemon Snap discussion? Because I know, Nick, you weren't a huge fan of it. Max, I think you were. Russ, I know you are. Does anyone have any thoughts on it after like a weekend or almost a weekend?
I'm curious to see, do you guys think it's worth $60 or not?
That's been the argument.
I wouldn't say it's worth $60.
No.
I mean, it does bring back memories for sure, because I mean, I I put so many hours into the original Pokemon Snap on the N64. But I honestly, I do not think it is worth $60 because the game's actually pretty short too. I've unlocked all the worlds, and now I'm just kind of trying to take better photos. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it seems like that's where the meat of the game is just to like get the top, like all the little unlockables after the core
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem that I was having with it too, is that they greenlit that game at $60. I don't understand why, because it feels like a '90s game to me, with
Mhm.
except for with better graphics and obviously, but I don't know. I just I couldn't wrap my head around just riding on a rail and taking pictures. It was just I
Yeah.
don't know. It was fun to do in the '90s for sure. It was
Yeah.
really cool because you could enjoy that 3D environment. That we weren't used to coming from the 16-bit era. So it was I don't know. I definitely don't think it's 60. It's more like in the $30 range for me. I probably would have bought it at $30 easily. But however, I have GameFly, so I just rented it.
Mhm.
Oh, that makes sense. What does anyone disagree? Does anyone think that, oh no, it's for sure worth $60?
No, I was even
I'm.
gonna,
Yeah.
You go ahead.
I was even gonna say with how much I like it, I agree with Nick that it should be like $30.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my like of it is through rose tinted glasses.
Yeah.
Because it really does feel like the old one. And in my mind, I don't see it as an issue, but for $60, it's an issue.
For sure. Yeah, that was, as soon as I saw all the first impressions of it and people like the murmurs that it's not, a $60 game, that's why I almost bought it today and I decided held off on it. So maybe it'll come down in the I know it won't. It's a Nintendo game.
Yeah, it won't.
It's a
It won't.
franchise.
Never
Yeah.
mind. I don't know. Maybe I'll buy it for $60 in like 6 months or something.
Yeah, they incorporated a lot of was it 1 star, 2 star, 3, 4 star pictures or
Mhm.
something, which really confused me because I would literally take a picture of a Pokemon that is maybe one millimeter, I would even say, and then it would be like, oh wow, it's a 4 star picture. And I'm like, how is this a 4 star picture?
It seemed like
It's
I've heard it's kind
literally-
of arbitrary with
yeah.
the ratings.
I was annoyed by that star system because there was at one point in one area I had all options there and I could only select one photo. And I thought it'd be cool if you could have select maybe one photo per star that you got out of that. But I guess what their whole idea is that they're trying to make you replay the game as much as possible to make you feel happy with paying $60. Because with the whole grinding feature that they have in the game, my understanding is each time you level up, there's more Pokemon that show up. The Pokemon get used to you being there, so it allows better poses, better photos, all that type of stuff. This game, for me, I was happy paying $60. I never played the original, so this was my first time playing this type of game, and I replayed a lot of stuff, and I can see I see the arguments. I can see why people don't want to pay $60. I think it's totally justifiable. But with someone like me, where I'm on the go a lot, this game is just kind of perfect for an on the go experience. I enjoyed paying 60. That's how I feel on that.
For sure.
Its value will differ for everybody, for sure. If you enjoy it, and then heck yeah, for $60, that's not too bad. If you really are getting enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's a lot of games they sell that are way overpriced for the experience. Like most recently, Bound in Wonderland. That game actually gave me motion sickness. I felt like I was on a tire swing. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. And they greenlit that game at $60.
Yeah.
It made no sense to me, but
Pokemon
for
Snap
sure.
sounds like a game that I could probably actually finish.
right?
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to the news this week, starting with games that are coming out. So Resident Evil Village, obviously, that came out today? Yes, tomorrow. But it seemed
Tomorrow.
people posting about it, and then it looks like an expansion for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Wrath of the Druids, coming out next week. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Luke, I know you're into that.
Oh heck yeah.
Days Gone for the PC comes out May 18th. Knockout City, that EA dodgeball weird game, comes out May 21st. A couple other things that I saw. The new Subnautica that was on there. Is anyone picking up anything in the next couple of weeks that they're just like super stoked on?
Resident Evil for me.
Yeah. Did you? How you're pretty close on 4, right? You've been streaming that.
I don't know. Aaron wouldn't answer me.
I saw that. I saw that back and forth. So are you going to finish 4 before you start 8?
No.
No, you're just going to jump right in. That's understandable.
Yeah, I don't want all the spoilers to happen.
Oh, for sure. And then the other thing, anyone else picking up anything? Luke, Mass Effect?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get the Mass Effect Legendary for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that was coming out.
Yeah, I remember the
gonna be
announcement.
awesome.
Oh, and Aaron's in the chat talking about Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance.
Oh yeah.
That just got like weirdly kind of almost shadow dropped. Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow. Which is a big deal. I know Aaron's pumped on it. He's probably gonna stream it.
Nice.
The other thing that just came out, or is coming out, it's actually coming out in June, but it got announced, I think today, is the Game Builder Garage for the Switch, which looks really interesting. Max, thanks for letting me know that it was in the Labo, or the part of it was in the Labo set, but I love stuff like this. And so I'm probably gonna get it. It's only $30. And so I'm intrigued by this. Anyone else?
Yeah, I agree. I think that looks absolutely amazing. I think there's going to be this massive community like we see with Mario Maker 2 and the first one and Dreams. Have you guys played Dreams?
I've never played it, but I've seen this. I've
Wow.
watched videos on that. It's just insane.
It is absolutely insane. There is so many creative people out there with those kind of platforms. It's just really fun, so I probably won't make much of anything, but it'll be fun to check out,
play stuff,
and then play other people's levels.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If it has like half the user base of Dreams, I think it'll be a good time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is Dream still like active? Is the community still active?
I do not know.
I watched a video on the comparison of Dreams and this new Nintendo game that got announced. The video was talking about that the Dreams player base died pretty quick because of PlayStation.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
So I'm assuming.
Who did the comparison on that?
I don't know it was in my suggestion feed. I didn't subscribe to the person.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I was just wondering because I was gonna do one as well. That's probably a Nintendo enthusiast.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna assume it's the player base is dead, since we're not dead, but
I think people are just discouraged, probably more than anything. So moving on, we're gonna pop through this news pretty quick because there's a bunch of stuff with this Apple and Epic stuff. But Sony announced a investment in Discord Series H funding, and that they'll integrate Discord into the PlayStation Network somehow, which is just kind of peculiar, coming on the heels of the all the talks with Microsoft wanting to buy out Discord, and this coming out right after. So I don't know that it'll make a big difference. Seems like Discord wants to go public and stuff. I'm just a bunch of
I was pretty shocked about that too. Because I really thought Microsoft was going to buy them out.
I thought that was a done deal. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess PlayStation decided to invest in it, which it's okay. It's just when I used to stream, I just streamed off the PlayStation, and I know that there was no Discord option, but it's just cool that they're figuring out a way to incorporate Discord into PlayStation Network altogether.
It's smart. I mean, it's smart of them to do. I think that there should be more integrations with these types of platforms. Obviously, even just crossplay becoming more open, I feel like it has provided a better experience for everyone. And the
Yeah.
more of these cross connections, the better, I think, for the whole community. And I think it's like one of those, like, was it right? The rising tide raises all ships or whatever. I think it's all for the good.
It
But
is
I'm
definitely.
guessing, like, I know it was a Series H funding round, so I'm guessing I don't know how much they put in, Sony, but I'm guessing it was probably somewhere they bought probably less than 1% ownership in Discord,
Definitely.
based on their valuation and everything. I couldn't imagine them putting much more than that in. So it's going to be a minor investment in the long run, but it's big nonetheless. So we're gonna roll right into this epic Apple chaos that has gone on this week, because there's a lot of stuff that took place, like all the leaked documents and everything from the court case, where they were supposed, like, some were supposed to be sealed, and then they all got uploaded to a server, and so everyone just ransacked them, and it had emails and everything. And so I'm gonna blow through these. If you want to talk about anything, just jump in, because there's a lot to cover here. So Epic spent over $11 million to offer free games on the Epic Game Store. I forgot, Max, you dropped a stat in there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like I forgot how much,
it's like
but I thought that was interesting.
it's like over 100 million for 6 months of
Yeah.
exclusivity on the Epic Game Store, um, which is just massive.
That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous amount. That's like almost half of a budget of a game, like a
Yeah.
big game. Like,
They're
I
just
get. It's interesting. Like, I know a lot of people like bash people for like doing exclusivities with like whether that's Epic, that stuff. But I think some people gotta open their eyes and see. Well, I mean, Epic's paying this crazy buttload amount of money for just 6 months, which is I think that's a waste of money that Epic's doing. I think they're going to go broke real fast with the amount of money that they're paying, because I doubt Borderlands 3, like, I know it was probably successful on Epic Games, but I doubt it brought anywhere near the numbers they were thinking. And
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. We'll I mean, time will tell with, whoops, didn't mean to do that, with how this all turns out. But I mean, the other thing is the so Fortnite obviously is Epic's big moneymaker. There were leaks about how much money Fortnite's making and everything. Like, they're still profiting. They're just putting all of this into their Epic Game Store, which is a big deal considering that they run their own platform and they're suing Apple for running a platform. And so that's why all this stuff is coming out. But there was so real quick, there were all these leaks about who they wanted collaborations with in Fortnite, and so it's like Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, Naruto, John McClane, Samus, LeBron James, and so all these leaked documents about who they were trying to get into Fortnite, and it's part of their whole like metaverse thing going on. I don't know. Does anyone ever play Fortnite?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes. Admittedly, like, I just like, because I'm a huge indie platformer gamer, and I remember buying the PS4, and I was like, I wonder what free games I could download on it. I saw Fortnite, and it was still new at the time, but it was
Mhm.
free. So I tried it. I was like, oh my god, this is actually pretty cool. So I, like, every night I would invest like maybe 3 or 4 hours playing just nonstop Fortnite, and I was like looking at myself in the mirror like, who am I? Like, I don't play this game. Like, what is this? But it took over my life for like an entire year. There was like a light at the end of the tunnel. I managed to get out of that hole, but I mean, it's addicting. It's actually really enjoyable.
For sure. That's. I understand the appeal of it, especially, like, if you have friends that are in it. It's a very like social game, and it crosses multiple, like, I mean, they incorporate pop culture and everything, and like I understand the appeal for it. I just know it gets a lot of flack for like not being like gamer like
Gamer,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like what the kids play and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, Epic obviously makes a buttload of money on it, so enough to pay 150 million
Yeah.
for Borderlands 3. So it is what it is. Moving on with some of this news. So this I'm putting in here to clarify some stuff because I looked into it. So Nintendo specifically bars Japanese partners from working with the Yakuza. So this leaked out of some contract that was involved in the court case. IGN wrote about it. I looked into it, and it seems like this is a kind of universal thing for companies in Japan for like the last 20 years, that to try to curb like organized crime, like business contracts must include clauses that they can be like severed if it's found that you're working with organized crime or something. And so it was in a Nintendo contract, and people pointed that out. But it seems like it's kind of standard operating procedure for business in Japan, for most companies anyway. But it's funny, just the headline. I mean, it's obviously a attention grabbing headline considering everything. I don't know. Isn't there a Yakuza game on the Nintendo Switch? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
gonna ask that.
Oh, there is. I didn't know that.
It's a good game. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but Japanese.
Oh,
Right.
nice.
Cool.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
I heard
Yeah.
I heard really good things about the one that just came out last year, but I never
Mm.
played it. I think they like changed formats. I think it's more like RPG.
Yeah.
The Like a Dragon one. But I haven't played any Yakuza games, so they've always intrigued me. But
I heard they're pretty funny.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, there's like a lot of comic relief and
Mhm.
stuff. So keep moving forward. Another thing that came out is how much Sony hated wanting to open up crossplay, and it also came out that Sony gets like they have all these clauses in contracts with licensing games where if they have crossplay, that Sony has the ability to collect fees if certain numbers of players don't play between like non-cross play and stuff like that. Like they built in all this stuff. I mean, most of this news is basically like all these companies are somewhat anti-competitive, at the expense of consumers, or but it's just funny. And I think like back when like Xbox 360 in the US was kind of on top, that Microsoft was the one that was kind of dragging their feet on allowing crossplay. And so I think it's just whatever platform is on top, they're the ones that are like, no, we don't need crossplay because we're on top, type of thing. But I'm glad that it's here. I hope that we don't regress with it, because I feel like it's really revolutionized how we play games, especially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree, because you can jump into say like Rocket League and get in a match pretty quick. It just makes it that much more enjoyable,
Yeah.
for everybody,
Yeah,
instead of having to wait for that player base only on that console.
I mean,
especially a game that's 3 years old.
Yeah, and I mean, it really was
Oh.
Epic that pushed all of this,
Yeah.
like with Fortnite and putting it on the Switch, and basically forcing Sony's hand to open up crossplay, because they had it on every they got agreements with Nintendo and Microsoft and had it on every single platform. And then finally Sony, like, it came out that Sony was the one that were not allowing it, not flipping the
Right.
switch on their end. And so
Yeah.
and then it happened, but it came much more clear how much Sony was fighting it, actively fighting it. So yeah, there's a lot to dive in here. We're not gonna go too deep into the news of this. Real quick, another thing is that Walmart was going to start a cloud gaming service, but kind of put that on hold.
Oh yeah, what happened with that?
I think they just stopped development of it after a while.
It was too
They
budget
probably
friendly.
realized.
You get it on discount.
How much were they gonna charge for that?
I don't know. I think it was supposed to be. It was going to be something like
Those
very,
rollback prices.
very budget.
$1 less than everybody else.
Right.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
Yeah, it was going to be very like budget friendly and everything. So they were going to sell the like a clip for your phone for like $2,
Oh.
and then
Oh my God.
like to connect it, probably a cheap controller too, and like to just get people
Yeah.
doing it. So it seems like that's kind of kaput, but it was from 2019 was when they were talking about doing this. So just funny back end business gaming stuff. And then the last thing with this new stuff is that there was an email where Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, mentioned that he referenced that he hasn't given up on xCloud and other consoles, which everyone's pointing to Switch, and this wasn't too long ago. And so in whatever form, it seems like Microsoft really wants this to happen. Nintendo likely doesn't, but I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see something like that, some type of cloud streaming service on Switch, especially if it's like whatever subscription based. I don't know. We can get into the whole subscription based gaming versus owning, and we're getting into that later. But yeah, any thoughts on all this chaos with? Has anyone taken a side on the Apple versus Epic battle?
Oh.
I'm gonna be Team Epic, even though they're kind of in the wrong. I just would like to see somehow Apple lose a case. I think that'd be.
You're more
the funniest thing
anti-Apple.
ever. Well, I say I'm anti-Apple, but I can't really say I'm anti-Apple here. But
no.
I'm Team Epic. Although I'm gonna be real, they kind of were in the wrong. It'd be interesting if Epic actually wins the case. That'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious.
I mean,
feel
there's
like they're just always like in some sort of case, like every year, like
Yeah.
some sort of lawsuit every year.
who, Apple or Epic?
Epic
Oh,
altogether.
oh yeah. I mean,
It's all that money they got from Borderlands, they're using it on court litigation now.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. There was one point that it made a good point where the judge was talking about like, okay, so you can like on your iPhone you can watch Netflix and pick whatever movie you want, but you can't do the same thing for games. The games have to be like individual apps, and so I mean that's a good point, that why in every other medium except for video games can you have a subscription model. And I forgot that Netflix pulled you can't sign up for Netflix inside the app anymore because of the splits, and so they pulled that like 3 years ago. And it seems like, I don't know, there's just a lot of stuff coming out with this, and I think that however this turns out, it's going to change drastically how marketplaces are run, regardless of platform. Like mobile or Steam, and like Steam just got sued for similar stuff. Like there's a lot of people are trying to move some stuff around right now, so it'll be interesting to see how when all the dust settles, what changes are made in the long term. But the last point of news is Nintendo Switch did their earnings call, and they are like just killing it. They sold 28.83 million Switch consoles. They're up to 84.59, and I think they're shipping like 30 more million this year. And so if they
Wow, they're gonna pass the Wii.
the Wii's at 101, so
Yeah,
they're only
gonna
like
pass the Wii.
15 million away from the Wii. So they'll probably hit that before the end of the year.
Mhm.
And then who knows with if a new Switch comes out, if it's same gen or something. I mean, it could keep going if it's not a major revision. Which the chatter I'm hearing is that it's not going to be a major revision as much as people are hoping.
Yeah,
But
I think you're right. I think it'll be just a slight little bump, like what they did with the 3DS, right?
Yeah.
That's the most recent.
yeah,
They just put in a C stick. You know, the processing power was a little bit more, you
yeah,
know,
it's bigger screen
capable,
slightly.
bigger screens. Yep.
But I think there will be a few exclusives, but I don't think I think they're gonna still release on both platforms. But we'll see. But the Switch is killing it. Animal Crossing has sold 32 million copies. We were
Wow.
talking about
Holy
just
cow.
behind Mario Kart at 35. But that was a pack in for a couple of years too.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I mean it's just out of control. There's been like I think they said 36 million plus selling titles on the Switch this year or something. I don't know. They're just going gangbusters right now. So good.
What do you guys think about if they do a Switch revision at the end of this year? Do you think it'll only be for the hybrid model, or do you think a Switch Lite will follow or come out around the same time? That's like a pro version of that, because supposedly Nvidia is not making the Tegra X1 anymore, right? Or they stopped production of them, so they only use what they have left in their stock, supposedly. Anyway, that's the rumor. But do you think that because of the new processing chip or the new, you know,
You
the
want
new
to know
revision?
my prediction?
Yeah.
I think they're the form factor is going to be the same. It's only going to be the hybrid, like the original Switch, because you can fit a 7-inch screen in that case and just get rid of the bezels. And I think the
Right.
processor is just going to be a minor bump. But then I think they're going to have a new boosted dock with another chip in there that's going to take. I think because this display on handheld, it's still only 720p from all the leaks that this display. It's an OLED 720p display, so they don't need more processing power in the console. I think it's going to have a better like a Thunderbolt interface, and then there's going to be a dock that I think they're going to sell separately that has that DLSS chip in there. And so I think the console itself isn't going to be that. I think it's going to be just a like maybe 15-20% boost in power maybe, but the all the like 4K and everything is going to come in that dock. That's what I've been thinking for the last couple months.
There's a lot of room in that dock.
Yeah, exactly.
In there, I mean, gosh.
Well, then
So you
you
don't think there'll be a Switch Lite revision by?
No, I don't think so.
You know, alongside of it.
I don't think so.
I think if we were not in the middle of a pandemic, I think there might have been like just look at the 2DS, how it went from like, you know, the bulky weird thing to the XL.
Yeah.
So they still care about their budget gamers, but it may just not be feasible currently.
Yeah.
I could see that. But yeah, I think that the console itself upgrade is going to be pretty minimal. Except for that, I think the screen is going to be the biggest thing. I think it's going to get rid of those bezels. I think they're going to try to keep the same form factor. So I think the current Joy-Cons can fit on it. I think the like actual unit itself will be the same size, just bigger screen and a slightly boosted chip. But then I think they're going to try to keep it at $300, but then they're going to sell $100 dock that has that upscaling in it. That's what I think.
Yeah.
We'll see. I could be totally off. I don't know.
It's Nintendo. They'll
do. Who knows?
Out of left field.
Exactly.
Like, what? Okay. I guess I gotta buy another Nintendo console.
Yeah. So I don't know. Anyone else have any other like left field ideas that you think could happen? No.
I don't know. I just hope that you can play like Breath of the Wild with better FPS. That's kind of my wish.
That would be that. I think that's what I'm thinking is that the boost in the console will just be it's going to keep all the same resolutions, but it's going to just boost the performance of all the games, and then the dock will do that like AI upscaling that NVIDIA is pushing right now.
Right.
So, so yeah. All right, we're done with news. Which that was kind of a good discussion for. We're getting into the hot takes. So, what game do you want a sequel for that you will never, ever, ever get? We were talking about this last week. Similar. What we were talking about remakes, and then Aaron brought up sequels, and of course he already threw out Days Gone 2 that got killed off by Sony. Which who knows? I feel like there could be some life in that in 5 or 6 years maybe, but Chris, do you have a game that you think that you would like to see?
My first thought is Chrono Trigger, even though it actually kind of already got a remake or a sequel with Chrono Cross. I'd like them to do a little more with it, even if it's just, bring it 3D and make it look beautiful and all that. But I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
So my second would be probably Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime.
What is that?
It's a spin-off of the Dragon Quest series where you play as a slime, and it starts out kind of just like a normal like action RPG, but in the end it's actually like a tank battle game.
Okay.
So it's really cool. You should check it out if you haven't seen
What
it.
what platform is it on?
Nintendo DS.
Oh, okay.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, I had not heard of that either. Nick, do you have any games that you want to?
Oh, another entry in the F-Zero series I want really bad.
Yeah, there's been some.
Just I know that's very few, fan base, and it's, I love the original from the Super Nintendo and then the GameCube, obviously with GX, and the Game Boy Advance one was fun, but it wasn't my cup of tea. But just something new and modern, that looks like maybe like Wipeout, because Wipeout's a really fun
Yeah.
entry as well. But I know it'll never happen, so it's a huge pipe dream of mine, to get that F-Zero, a new one, not like a remake or anything, but a new entry in the series.
An
That'd be awesome.
actual sequel.
Yeah. Well, it'll never happen. So.
Unless
dead, I think.
Yeah, there's that quote, like, and they can't think of something like new and like something to add to it, and so it's just been sitting there. Or
Yeah,
I forgot what the quote was, but Nettie, what about you? Or Chris, what were you saying?
I think wasn't it the director that said they want to do something innovative or nothing at all? Or
Yeah,
something?
exactly. Right. And they hadn't. Yeah, and there wasn't anything out there yet. Nettie, what were you saying?
For me, I think a sequel that I would love to see, and I know it would never happen. I feel like the game is underrated. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's a game called Brave Fencer Musashi from PlayStation 1. It was a Japanese RPG game, and I know they made one for, I think, the PS2, but the graphics just, everything was different. Because there was a lot of comedy in the PS1 version of Brave Fencer Musashi, and I was thinking, like, oh, this is going to be like one of those games that it's going to continue on. But it just stopped right there on PlayStation 2 because they changed the graphics so much. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to happen anymore because it's just been so long. And I feel like I want a remake of this rhythm game called Bust a Groove. I don't know if you guys know a Bust a Groove.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty much the mother of DDR. But I feel like rhythm games altogether, they're not as common as they used to be, because I mean we had Rhythm Heaven, right, like on the Nintendo DS, and then I believe they released another rhythm game on Steam called Rhythm Doctor, but it just doesn't, it hits different, it's not the same.
Sure,
like I want a Bust a Groove game, and I just know it's not gonna happen anymore.
No, definitely. Yeah. Max, what about you?
All right. So we've managed to bring up this game almost like for the last 4 episodes. I think we've brought it up once. Me and Aaron have somehow brought Days Gone 2 mentioned in like the last 4 episodes. And I'd be a
Sneaks in.
fraud if I don't say Days Gone 2. So I know if Aaron was here, he would say Days Gone 2. So I'm going to represent
might be in the
Aaron
chat.
and say Days Gone 2. I'm not going to spoil that game, but if you play the game, you know why there needs to be a sequel. And it maybe, hopefully, if the PC version is successful, maybe Sony will change their minds and be like, you know what? Let's throw money at a sequel potentially, and maybe we'll get that in 6 years. But I am going to pick one more game. Spider-Man Web of Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
There was supposed to be a sequel for that game. But, and this really hurts me that I found this information out, they canceled the sequel. That way that team could actually develop Call of Duty Black Ops 1. And I was like, that hurts.
Wasn't Web of
can't-
Shadows your choice for a remake?
Yes. yes.
Doubling up.
And the crazy thing is they're like the concept art for the sequel. I think that would have been like a huge game, like just mind blowing. And yeah, Treyarch. It sucks that they have to be stuck working on Call of Duty now.
Luke, what about you?
I was jokingly going to say Half-Life 3 because that's probably never going to come out. But my actual answer is No One Lives Forever, which was like an old FPS game. And you can no longer buy the first 2 games because they're like in copyright purgatory.
Oh, really?
The only way to actually play them is to pirate them. But they're really funny. I think they're kind of like if you have a game about Austin Powers, but the character is a no-nonsense woman.
I've heard of
Much
that
more
game.
mature.
I don't know what. No One Lives Forever. Hold on. I should have pulled up these games as you guys. Oh, I remember this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never played it, but I remember it.
It was really funny. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Like you can Google it. You can get the full version if you really want to try it. But yeah,
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. What platforms was it on? PS2.
I think it was. I don't know if they were on consoles, but they were definitely on PC.
Oh, it was on PC and then it ported to PS2 and Mac.
Okay.
Nice. I'll load it up on my MacBook. Russ, what about you? What about you?
For mine, for this one, I want another Sonic Adventure game. Sonic
Ah.
Adventure 2 is like one of my favorite games of all time. And I miss the Sonic games where you would just pick a level and run through the level and then just try to redo levels to get better at them. I also miss the Chow Garden. They need to bring that back already.
Yeah. I kept hearing chatter that the that Balan Wonder World had a kind of copycat Chow Garden type of feature, because
It kind of did.
like the Tims or whatever.
Yeah, they were like little baby things that you dropped, like, I don't know, like balls of liquid into flowers, and then they go to the flowers, and that's as much as I know about
It's
them.
like-
I don't know if they actually do anything.
Like a Tim Liquid. It was like the Tim Tower or something. I don't know. That game seemed weird. Neandermander in the chat said another 2D Contra. And then similar to Contra 4 on the DS.
Please. That would be awesome.
For me, I first was thinking, I was like, it would be kind of cool to have, like, I just booted up Super Mario RPG on my Wii U that I loaded in, and it would be cool to have a sequel to that. Although kind of the Paper Mario is kind of like the spiritual successor of that, I guess, but not quite. Another thing is some of those original like PS1 launch title games. Like, for some reason, I don't know, Battle Arena Toshinden was like the game that sold me on the PS1 for some reason. I bought it and I loved it, and then it just disappeared. They might have actually made a sequel. I don't know. And then I think that was it for me. I didn't have a whole lot of... Oh, another one. Has anyone ever played Heavy Rain on the PS3?
Yeah,
That
was
would be
awesome.
a cool game to get a sequel, because the games that they developed after, it was like I forgot, like Detroit Become Human and
Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls. Those weren't quite. They were very similar, but didn't have. Neither of those really got me the way that Heavy Rain did, and so something like that would be a sequel to that. I think would be really cool. That story just I liked all the like it was real, but also like had few little tinges around the edges of some supernatural stuff. So
Yeah, I almost completed that game when it released, and then something happened to it at the very end. It like I lost all the save on it, and there
Oh,
was an
really?
issue with it back then. They had to update it, but yeah. So it was really disappointing not to be able to see the end on my own. I had to look it up on YouTube, but I was really disappointed.
I think I did the same thing where I don't remember, it's been so long, but I got it after it came, like a while after it came out, so it was probably after the update and everything. But I think I got one ending. I was like, that was kind of a lame ending, and then I looked up and I was like, if I would have just done one different thing, it would have like there was like a handful of different endings, and so I ended up looking those up. Okay, moving on to this is like to Game Pass or not to Game Pass. We were talking about this in the Discord. The whole concept of game ownership versus like subscription services versus digital, physical. Like, who is anyone like against Game Pass as uh like a what's a matter of like I don't know, your like ethical reasons for like not being part of it or anything? Like, is there anyone that is like anti Game Pass? Basically, no.
No.
Okay,
I'm against it for financial reasons, but other than that, no ethical problem whatsoever.
I guess ethical is the wrong way to put that. Chris, I mean, we were talking about it on the Discord for a while about like, obviously you're a collector, and so you prefer to buy your games. So do you have Game Pass, or do you?
I do not have Game Pass. I have Steam as my main PC gaming platform.
Yeah.
I do have some games on Epic, all of which I've gotten for free, and none of which are Borderlands 3. But yeah, yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but it's just, to me, it feels like financially it makes no sense for me to basically rent a game forever, with no control over what happens to that game, and with giving the company the ability to withdraw or retract my ability to play that game, and giving me no control over it whatsoever. If I have a physical
Sure.
cart in my hand, I can still put it in the console
Yeah.
and presumably play it, assuming my CMOS battery hasn't died yet.
Exactly. or the Sony servers haven't shut down from them pulling out of the video game market in 15 years or something. You never know what's going to happen in the future. Like, that's why I think that's why the big deal with the CMOS battery, even if it dies and you replace it, it still has physical games, or physical games on the PS4 still will not work until it gets a positive connection to the Sony servers, which is that's a big deal. I know they're looking into it, and so but one of those things, like, obviously physical, you have much more control over your the games that you're buying. But every time I like look stuff like that up, it's always like a reminder, like, even though you buy the physical game, it's still technically a license to play that game, and that can be revoked at any time for any reason, type of thing. That obviously they're not going to come to your house and take it out of your shelf or anything, which makes it a little bit easier than if it just gets removed from your library digitally. But I don't know. I think things are going to start getting more and more. The lines are going to get blurred more and more. And I think the subscription model is going to keep growing. So following other media, like music and movies, I think it's just gonna keep going this direction. So, um, I don't know. Is anyone like mad about it or happy about it or just don't care? Just just want to play your games, however get them.
Makes me think about like I don't know. You guys have heard of GameFly, right? Where people would just like rent the
Mhm.
video games. So I think, yeah, it's pretty much gonna go up from here because I've had games where I ended up buying it and I was like, wow, this game's not as as great as I thought it was gonna be, and I wasted so much money on it. So it's just nice to maybe like just have that option of like just a subscription service where it's like I just kind of like run through the game and try things out, and I know that it's gonna be good. I look forward to it mostly. But anything negative about it, I wouldn't say. I just kind of wonder how much it'll cost next, like every month.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
because Netflix used to be like what $5.99 at some point, and
yeah.
then they bumped it up to like $12.99
I'm
for
paying
like
I'm paying like $17 right now a month for
yeah.
Netflix. I'm like, just
Yeah,
because I have a 4K TV.
right, yeah, and I just feel like I just pay for all these subscription services because I don't pay for cable. Like I just
Yeah,
pay for a whole bunch of subscription services, but like I calculate it and I'm like I'm pretty much just paying for cable because like I
Yeah.
have Hulu, I have Netflix, I have Spotify, it's like so it just
Mhm.
makes me wonder how much they're gonna charge.
for sure. Um,
I enjoy Game Pass for the trial error of it. Being able to try out the game. Especially the day and date releases. That's awesome. I love
yeah,
that.
the
And
first
then if I
party.
really enjoy the game and it's physical, then why not pick it up?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
The
Not a lot of games have demos these days, so definitely
true.
yeah,
trying
That
before
is
you
true.
buy it.
yeah.
Positive.
That's what.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As soon as I used to be obsessed with like the buying the magazine, getting the demo disc, and
Mhm.
trying out all those games. That was my jam. And then I worked at EB, and so if you work at, I don't know if that is still the case. This was 20 years ago. Um, at the end of the month, any magazines that were left over, I would just take one of every one because we just toss them. Like as soon as it was like end of newsstand, like it wasn't exactly every month, but I would have all these demo discs and everything. I'm like, hey, I'll just play all these games, and that's what sold me on the 360 when you could start downloading game demos through the
Mhm.
through the the platform through the dashboard. And then what was I gonna say? Uh, I just drew a complete blank. What were we talking? We were talking about. I don't know why. Sorry about that.
Demo discs are neat.
Yeah, I got sidetracked with the demo discs. Oh, I know. So one thing that affects me is when I have a large selection of games in front of me, I play nothing, and so it's something where like
Choice
with
anxiety.
yeah, and so like I did just happened with my Wii U that I modded like live on stream, and I started loading all these games on, and I look at them like I have no idea what I'm gonna play. What am I supposed to play here? Like, and then I still like almost 2 weeks later, I have only played like literally 15 minutes of anything on the Wii U, and it was Breath of the Wild just because. And so I run into that too with Game Pass, where I have all these games. I'm like, what what am I gonna play now?
Yeah.
Like, and so if I go and I'm like, I put the effort into okay, pick a game, purchase it, download it. The payoff for playing that, I feel like is a lot more than just like this game's free, download it and like or like it's something like that. I don't know. There's something that I would run into it with pirating too. Like if I had a console that I would just well, I mean obviously I just explained it with the Wii U, but back in the day I would run into it too, or I'd have a whole spindle of PS1 games. I'm like I don't want to play any of these because they're all just sitting here for me. But I don't know. I'm kind of both ways. I like Game Pass because I like being able to try out things, but
Mhm.
so this past 2 days ago, it was May the 4th, which is officially, I guess now, Star Wars Day. And so I dropped a little hot take in here. What's your favorite Star Wars video game? Whether you're a Star Wars fan or not, I'm sure we've all played Star Wars games because there's like 14,000 of them. Russ, I'm going to start with you. What's your favorite Star Wars game?
I really haven't played that many. The one that I played that I really liked though was Pod Racer on the 64. I've had a lot of fun with that one with my friend.
Do you have it on the Switch?
No, I don't.
I bought it on the Switch.
It's good on the Switch.
Yeah.
It's fun to be able to take that on the go.
Yeah. That was on
forgot
my
about
list. I like it was only like I got it for like $12 or something, I think.
I forgot it was on the Switch.
Yeah. It looks good. I mean, it has like it's much the resolution's higher obviously. But it has it's the same game essentially. Luke, I know this is up your alley. What about you?
This is a me question, right?
Yeah.
I definitely have a lot of favorites, but if I'm just picking one, I'll just go with Dark Forces 2, which you might have guessed I would say that because it's just unusual because it's the only Star Wars game that has live actors for cutscenes. So it kind of makes it feel like a movie tie-in kind of thing. But it's not a game that I would recommend because it's very difficult.
Oh yeah. Stevie Bears in the chat just threw out Fallen Order, which I've played a couple hours through, and I have been meaning to go back and finish it. I really enjoyed everything that I played of that game.
I haven't played that yet, but I definitely do want to try it.
It's good. It's very it's a great single player like cinematic experience so far. I think I'm like 5 or 6 hours in, and it's really really good. I've enjoyed it. Max, what about you?
So I have two options. I don't know. I like them both equally. I'm a big fan of the Lego Star Wars games because I played those as a kid. I really like those games. But I also really like Star Wars, what's it called? Force Unleashed 1 and 2. I really like
Yeah.
those games
Those are fun.
because
Those
it
are
had
fun.
a unique storyline that I was like really intrigued with. I don't know. Is it canon to the Star Wars universe? Because it wouldn't make sense
Not
if that's
anymore.
canon.
No.
It was, but it's
Yeah.
not anymore.
Oh, I see. Well, I really like those games. I like both of them. I don't remember if people dislike one or not. I feel like I heard people say they didn't like that one as much, but I loved those games. So I would go with either one of those. Yeah.
Nice. Luke, what's your runner up? I'm curious because I know you had a lot.
Oh. Can I pick two?
Yeah. I'm curious.
Either TIE Fighter or Shadows of the Empire.
Shadows of the Empire is good.
Yes.
I like
Nintendo
that game.
64,
Yeah, 64. Nettie, what about you?
I haven't played many Star Wars games. I mean, I did enjoy. I played Force Unleashed. I really enjoyed that one. And I used to play Battlefront with my younger brother a lot, and I think just the concept of having a game where you could just co-op with someone, because it's very rare these days. Most of these days, I feel like everything's just like battle royale. You know what I mean? Or like just really short, quick games. So just like going through a game through story mode and just kind of like working together to get through the storyline is nice. So I enjoy Battlefront a lot, and I wish that they made like a better remake compared to that previous one that they released. I don't remember what year it was, but I know I bought it on the PS4 and I was like, it's a little different.
You're talking about the
agree.
original Battlefront, like for like
Yeah, the original Battlefront from like way
the
back.
Dice did like right after 1942. That I really enjoyed that. Yeah, Battlefront was on my list. Nick, what about you?
I actually have to agree. I had a really good time with Battlefront for the PS4. I don't know. It was a quick pick up and play, Star Wars game, and it was just I don't know. I had a lot of fun. I put a lot of hours into that.
So you're
Always
you're talking about the remake, like or
the new one,
the new
remake,
one. Okay.
Yeah. I enjoyed the originals too, but I really enjoyed the remake. However, I didn't like 2 all that much. There was just too much buy-in for it,
Sure.
But I'll still pick it up today if there's still gamers on. I'll get on and play the first one. It's really fun. I'll put on the actual soundtrack on Spotify,
yes,
and just listen to it. I don't know. It's just a blast. I love it. But also, Rogue Leader for the GameCube.
Yeah,
That
Oh,
was
that's a good
one of my favorites of all time.
Rogue
It's
Squadron
really
and
fun.
Rogue Leader both
Rogue
are good.
Squadron, yeah. Yeah, for the N64 and the one on GameCube.
Yeah.
Or actually, there was two
They're
on GameCube.
they're both on GameCube, right? Right.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Or,
two
yeah.
or
Rogue
three,
Squadron 1, I believe, was on N64.
Oh, that was
and
on.
then-
And yeah. You're right.
And then 2 is Rogue Leader. Yeah.
Yes. Someone is going nuts with their horn. Chris, what what about you, man?
I'm gonna shout out to Beach Pizza Gaming, and I really enjoy the Super NES Star Wars titles. My second and third is probably a tie between. I had a lot of fun with friends with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the MMO RPG.
Yeah.
And I have a funny story about the complete saga, the Lego Star Wars on Xbox. When my son was probably 7 or 8, he was doing a streaming video, and that game has drop-in co-op, and he didn't know it at the time. But I connected the second controller and just kept killing him over and over again. And he spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out why his partner just kept killing him.
that's hilarious. I have that Lego Star Wars complete saga right there. I was trying to take a photo for Star Wars Day and I ran out of time, and so it's just still sitting in my set right now. That's hilarious. So for me, I have a weird one. It was a perfect storm where I really liked beat 'em ups and I was kind of nostalgic, and I was really into Star Wars. It was right around right after Episode 1 came out, and I was kind of like all pumped about getting like Star Wars becoming a real thing again, because it was so weird in the early 90s, like growing up, like how there were no movies, but I was still all pumped about the original. So Jedi Power Battles on the PS1, and actually Dreamcast, the Dreamcast version was better. That game I played hours and hours, and it's not the best Star Wars game because it's very repetitive, but it's just so enjoyable. Like the combat of it's very classic beat 'em up, but you just like run through all these worlds, and it was mostly Episode 1 stuff. But and it was like co-op. I think it was just 2-player co-op, and it was just, it was so much better than the Episode 1 official game that came out at the time. And then I don't know. I played like all the PS1 Star Wars games, and so like I played a ton of Masters of Terrakasi, and this game is not good, but it was something I was dying for, was Star Wars Demolition. Does anyone remember that?
I do not know.
It is basically Twisted Metal, but in the Star Wars universe, and so it's all Star Wars,
awesome.
all Star Wars vehicles. But the game was broken, like fundamentally broken. Everything was mismatched. There's a bunch of videos about like how it doesn't. It's impossible to beat because of how uneven some of the battles are. But it's a vehicular Star Wars combat game, and so you can get like on a land speeder, or you can be in like in all different types of Star Wars vehicles. But that was fun until it wasn't. It wasn't a very good game, but the concept was great. So those are mine. I had a lot of PS1. I also played the original Battlefront a ton, and then I'm into. I need to finish. What's it called? I'm drawing a blank right now. The new one came out.
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. Yeah, I need to finish that.
Oh, that game is awesome. Yeah.
I loved what I played so far. So
yeah, it's really good.
What time is it?
Regarding your first pick, I'm really surprised that game hasn't been re-released on any platform. Jedi Power Battles.
Yeah, it was so fun.
You can only like find it on disc on eBay for people selling it.
Really? Yeah, I forgot that I played it both on PS1 and Dreamcast, and same with what was it? Did Pod Racer come out on Dreamcast, or was it just N64?
Yes, I have
it did.
For Dreamcast
Yeah.
and PC.
The Dreamcast version was awesome of that too.
That was my favorite version.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. It was just, it felt so like it had a higher frame rate and
Yep.
and especially if I actually just hooked up my Dreamcast right there.
Oh, nice.
And I have it VGA connected to this TV, so I just did that this week. I forgot I did that. I played some Dreamcast games. I didn't even put that in the what we're playing. So it's 10:15 Eastern. I have one more topic, and if you guys are down, did you guys prepare for the soundtrack one?
Yes.
I did, yeah.
Okay, well let's. If you did, cool. If you didn't, just pass. We'll go through it real quick. Anyone, we can go in any order. What's your favorite video game soundtrack? No, you jumped in.
Three.
Oh,
Totally.
Go ahead.
Just say I'm good on chat. But hello, Jill. Oh, Jill! Oh my God! Hi. I'm good. Adam. It's my online son. But my top three. I have top three. So the first one's gonna be Bust a Groove because it has like just a nice old Japanese like soundtrack type of feel to it. Number two would be Kingdom Hearts because it just draws back like a whole bunch of memories. I remember like back in middle school where I saved up money just to get Kingdom Hearts.
yes.
And then one of my favorite ones recently is Celeste. Celeste has an amazing soundtrack. And yeah, I think that's my top three for favorite soundtracks.
Nice. Russ, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I have a top three too. I couldn't pick just one. So my first one would be Persona 5. I just absolutely love that soundtrack and I listen to it almost daily. My second one would be Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Yeah.
That soundtrack is just amazing. That game is amazing too.
So good.
And my third one is from a game I'm sure nobody's going to know about called No Straight Roads. It's a rhythm game / hack and slash. And it's a really weird game to explain, but I really like the music to it.
Nice.
And I think it's a cheap game too, so it might be worth checking out.
Wait, what's it called?
No Straight Roads.
No Straight Roads. Here's some pictures for it. No Straight Roads. It looks cool.
Christina Aguilera.
Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. Luke, did you have any nominations for this?
Yeah, I have multiple, but I'll just go with one. Aerith theme from FF7,
Oh yeah,
just because that game has like a lot of childhood memories for me.
for sure.
Yeah.
Max, what about you?
All right, so I didn't think about Persona 5, but I gotta agree, Persona 5 has like top tier video game soundtrack. But I'm actually gonna say Death Stranding. I am a big fan of that game's soundtrack because it's just when you play the game, you hear some of the music they pick. It's literally fitting perfect. Like it's always placed perfect. The timing's perfect. Everything about that soundtrack I love.
Nice. I think I toured with a band that was on that soundtrack randomly. I'm pretty sure. Nick, what about you?
Well, I like the new Streets of Rage 4 soundtrack. We've been listening to that on Spotify and stuff. But one of my favorites, it kind of got me into chiptunes, is the Anamanaguchi or Scott Pilgrim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I just lost my battery.
Lost
There
it.
goes. Battery change.
Almost made it. We should have done this segment.
Dang it.
Sorry, Nick.
got it.
Chris, what about you?
I'll stick with three also. Chrono Trigger is probably my favorite soundtrack of all time. Following that is probably Secret of Evermore and Jet Grind Radio.
That was good.
The
Oh, yeah,
soundtrack,
that's a really
the
good one.
soundtrack to that game is just so off the wall and absolutely like nothing that I would normally listen to. But it's just so good.
Nice. So for me, before we end, obviously I had Sayonara Wild Hearts on my list. Katana Zero has a great soundtrack. It's
Oh.
almost like
good.
if a Trent Reznor Atticus Ross soundtrack was made like in like almost like retro, but it has a lot of the same like dark vibes of that. And then I love that. I'll listen to that all day. Crypt of the Necrodancer, great music. And then you know what has underrated like metal music is Doom 2016. I listened to that soundtrack a lot, and I've never played the game, but I'll listen to that soundtrack just
That
because
music is too intense.
it is so heavy and so well produced and just like.
Have you played Valfaris?
No.
Say that too.
Dude, that
Metal,
soundtrack is it's super metal, dude.
Really?
It's rocking. It's
That whole game is
yeah.
metal.
Yeah,
My
it's
husband bought that
awesome.
game.
I need to
I know my
check
wife
it
goes,
out.
turn it down, please. But it's got a really killer soundtrack. If you like Doom 2016, you'll like that for
Yeah,
sure.
there's like there's this track called BFG Division from the Doom 2016 soundtrack, and it is just if you need to just get amped up for something, put it on. It's like it's only like 2 different like phrases of music over and over for like 7 minutes or something, but it works so good somehow. It's like you don't. It's everything wrong with how you're supposed to structure a song, but I mean, obviously, it's probably works for. It's supposed to be for the game, but it's so good. All right, before we go, I want to give shout outs to all you guys. We're at 10:22. Russ at Crossweasel, you stream on Twitch. You're on Instagram, and are you going to finish Resident Evil 4? Or are you going to switch straight to RE8 on your stream?
I'm gonna go to RE8 and then I'm gonna go back to 4.
Sweet. Good call. Luke at Luke Leeson, you do I forgot. I memorized what it is, but you're on YouTube. You do essays on video games and movies. What's your next one? Are you working on anything right now?
I'm the laziest YouTuber ever. So I
Me
got a
too.
lot of
Me
stuff
too.
going on right now.
Me too.
I'm actually studying for a career change. So I'm just kind of like
for sure
putting stuff on hold right now.
Nice. Well, you're also on Twitter too. I have your Twitter link in the description of the YouTube and also the audio version. So be sure to check out Luke. Max at Minato Max, you're putting out videos like every 2 days. It feels like right now. Nintendo Switch stuff and news and everything.
I got a Pokemon Snap review coming out tomorrow.
Nice.
And this Tuesday, if anyone wants to watch, I did give away a Nintendo Switch Lite to my best friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, cheers on that, man. That was really cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome. Nettie, you stream on Twitch. Nettie Dorco, you're going live tonight, right?
So I changed my schedule.
Oh, you did. Okay, sorry. Oh, yeah, you did. I saw your tweet. I was like, I need to promo you for going if you're going live after this show. But no, what's your schedule now?
So I stream Wednesday, Fridays, Saturdays on Twitch. I don't really have any big events going on because I'm kind of just all over the place when I just kind of play based on my mood. But the big event that I do have next Saturday would be the Dead by Daylight competition that I've been prepping for about 4 months now. So that's a little exciting.
How do people get in on that?
So I mean, the signups are actually full now,
but
okay. I would usually announce it on my stream or on my Discord whenever I do host a new Dead by Daylight competition. So yeah,
for sure,
pretty exciting. We have a lot of competitive players hopping on it.
That's awesome. Yeah, be sure to follow Nettie on Twitch. Nick at your official No Friendo on YouTube, Instagram. Anything else? Any other platforms that you're? Oh, and you're on Twitter. I always see you retweeting and liking my stuff. You do a lot of Switch content.
Yes, it's mostly a Switch channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your latest video right now? I've been trying to keep up with you.
I just launched a unpopular opinion about Pokemon Snap today, just a few hours ago. So that was fun to make. I had some difficulty with my camera. when I got off work today. It was so frustrating, but I ironed it out and figured it out. But so yeah, that one just launched, and then I don't know yet. I'm just kind of there's been a lot of announcements lately with
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch, for June, but I don't know what I'm gonna do as of the next week or so. But it's usually a weekly video that I
Sure.
do. I'll come up with something,
Nice.
just kind of wing it, whatever it feels, like fun to do. So
Definitely. Be sure to follow official no friendo on YouTube. Links in the description. Chris, Toaster Dog.
I don't do anything.
You just made an Instagram account, and it's actually I was very impressed. Your content is already like up there, like for just starting your account.
Well, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
glad you enjoy it. I have way too many physical games, and I like to get addicted to games, so I don't have time for anything else like making videos or posting on socials. So,
It's
but
definitely
yeah,
a struggle.
I have yeah, I have Twitter also, but
Okay.
I don't hardly ever use that either. So
Well,
You
be
do have
sure.
an
me wherever.
impressive Chrono Trigger collection.
What's
Oh
that?
yeah,
You do have an impressive Chrono Trigger collection behind you.
Oh yeah, it's over there
Oh, I couldn't tell if that one.
on Instagram, coming soon, I guess.
nice. Yeah, you
Nice.
posted in the Discord, and impressed everyone. And also, you have a few kiosks and stuff. You need, yeah. Or is it just the Wii U one? Or no, you have like I saw the arcade with the giant Pikachu and
I have
stuff.
a Wii U kiosk and a Mario Brothers arcade.
Yeah, nice. That's so rad.
sweet.
So I have a new video. I'm saying it's gonna come out tomorrow. I had massive issues with my Final Cut today that I was supposed to have the video done before we went live, but it's not. So new video on my it's the 8-bit do Pro 2 controller is almost done. So I'm gonna try to get out tomorrow on this channel, and then we do the TYCAST live every Thursday 9 p.m. Live on my YouTube. It's also available in audio form on wherever you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, pretty much everywhere. I want to thank you guys all for being here, and yeah, we'll be back next week with another great discussion on video games. Any last thoughts before we close out the episode?
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, yeah.
nice
It's
being
good
on
to
you guys.
have new faces. We're gonna try to have where you guys come on every like on a rotating basis, so that I don't have to you guys don't have to be here every single Thursday, and so we have a good mix. But thank you guys for being here. Nick and Chris, welcome to the club. Russ, Luke, Max, Nettie, it's good to have you guys back. With that, we're out. Have a good night. See you next week. Goodbye.
See you guys later.
Yeah.